But I'm just wondering why you ever take my life. Like, what the hell am I doing right?
Hey everybody, I'm Felisa, and today is another entry in the Straighten Your Crown series. I forgot to put it on the last couple of series, but I think it's on the thumbnail. But at any rate, here we go. So today's vlog entry is just, I hate my life. And my disclaimer is this. I am just but one person who has had one set of experiences and has gone through a certain set of circumstances and has brought me to this place. You or I may have different journeys and paths and the way that we arrive in a place called there, but hopefully some of what I may say may resonate with you, and that you'll hopefully get some, I don't know, some insight into your own life, into your own behavior. So here we go. So, I hate my life. I'm not where I want to be. I haven't finished my education. My kids are driving me crazy. I can't stand my spouse. My spouse left me. I never got married. I thought we were going to get married. My baby daddy left me. These kids are just out of control. I don't have any money. I don't have whatever. I'm miserable. It goes on and on. And I get it. I completely get it. But here's the thing. Every decision that you have ever made in your whole entire life brought you into this point. Where you sit right now is the culmination of things that you have contributed to over the years. Now, not everything that you've done is, terrible or awful, and, maybe you had the best of intentions when you did certain things, but it didn't necessarily turn out the way that you thought that it should. But here we are. So how do you pull yourself out of whatever it is that you're going through at this particular time? So it's about reinventing yourself. Each time you have a setback in your life, that's the perfect time for you to pause, think, reflect, reset, do some things differently. If you're continuously getting the same results, then you are continuously doing the same things. You have to change what it is that you're doing. And sometimes that's easier said than done, especially when you have children. You can't just upset your whole entire life. You can't just, up and move to another state most of the time. You can't just quit your job and go do something else. And so you may be feeling like you're stuck, but that does not mean that you do not plan to escape. That does not mean that you don't have an exit plan. Somewhere down the line, you have to put the wheels in motion to make what it is that you desire for your life come true. And that starts today. That starts with everything that you're doing at this particular moment. So everything that you don't do and everything that you do brings you a step closer or a step further away than what your actual goal is. I think I talked on the last vlog about education, that it's never too late, that my mother is actually in school for her bachelor's degree, and she's 70 years old. She's getting ready to be 71. Now, a lot of people might think that she might be wasting her time, but this is a personal goal that she has had for years to make this happen for herself. And I'm so proud of her for doing this. She's not doing it for the money. She's not doing it for the accolades. She's not doing it for any other reason than she wants to enhance and enrich her life. And she doesn't want to leave here with that particular goal undone. So kudos to her. And kudos to every other woman and man who has made it their business to try and capture some of their goals and their dreams before they leave planet Earth. So if you are stuck in a dead-end job and you need skill and retraining in order to get to the next level and do something differently, then by all means, look out for that. Try and make that happen for yourself. Set up a meeting with one of the counselors at the local community college. See what kind of fast track options they have. Some of those courses are short-term certificates that can be had in as little as 18 months, not even the full 2 years. But if you have 2 years to invest in everything else, you should have 2 years to invest in yourself. So you should at least be willing to put the time in and the effort required to get your associate's degree. Now, having said that, what do you do about a dead-end relationship? I'll wait. So how long are you going to be miserable? Sometimes I know that we as women in particular, we want an ROI. We want to return our investment. We've given this fool, I don't know how many years of our lives. We gave him so many babies and we've given him so many chances. And at each juncture, we figure out that this is not the best thing for us, but you are so afraid of what's on the other side of being single until you remain in a relationship that is stagnant, that is not beneficial for you, and is sometimes toxic. So what you have to do is that you have to learn to extract yourself from that, and you have to decide that that is the best thing for you. Again, like I've always said, I'm not the poster child for divorce or for separation or any of those kinds of things. But if the relationship is not beneficial, if it's causing you more harm, either psychologically and definitely physically, spiritually, you need to run. You need to get out of that situation, and you need to start making a strategy now in terms of how to get out of that so that you're not miserable. Living miserably is not a way to live. You're not living, you're just existing. Okay, and so your kids driving you crazy. What are you going to do about that? That's a touchy subject. I think that, all of us have children who have certain personalities. They're their own people, but you have to learn how to parent them in the way that's best suited for them and for you. Can't micromanage an adult. You can't tell a teenager all the time what to do and how to do it. That is exhausting. At some point, you have to back off and you have to let them make their own decisions. But you have to let them know that making their own decisions means that they incur their own consequences and that mommy is not coming to clean up any mess that they make because they want to be hard-headed and carefree. So if there are rules in your house that are necessary to be followed to have a good life and a peaceful life, and they're not following that, then make the consequences clear. And that's not always easy. I get it. I have four. You want to hold them and protect them and keep them from bumping their heads and going the wrong way. But you can't do that because you'll sacrifice your own sanity and your own happiness trying to keep them from learning lessons that they probably need to learn on their own. Just like, okay, y'all don't get after me. But when your children are little, you try and protect them from certain things. You tell them, no, that's hot. No, that's hot. I had one child that was very curious. And so you come in the kitchen. No, don't touch that. That's hot. No, don't touch that. That's hot. You pick them up and move them. Next thing you know, they're back in the kitchen. They're trying to touch it. So at some point, let them touch it a little bit. Ow, that's hot. Okay, so now what did we learn? We learned that that's hot. So stop it. Everybody has to go through that at some point. And your children are no exception. And there's no exemptions from learning the hard life lessons and sometimes cruel lessons that life will bring. You'll find that a lot of your insanity is tied up in trying to prevent them from making mistakes that they probably are going to have to make in order to learn. And then that brings me to the next topic, personal fulfillment. After the children are gone, what do you expect to do with your life? I think I've been very clear about, now being in a crossroads. My last daughter is getting ready to graduate from high school, and I've been raising children for almost 30 years. And so I'm kind of like in this, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Live. You figure out, what it is that you like to do. Reestablish some of those passions and hobbies and things that you let go of years ago because you didn't have time for it, you didn't have the money for it, or, maybe it was just too whatever, involved, and so you needed to be, at the ready and at the present for your children. Go back and reclaim some of those things. I have good girlfriends who have now taken a ballroom and hustling, and, they go to painting with a twist all the time, and, I'm a homebody, so yeah. But, even with that, you figure out what are some of the things that would make you want to go out of your house and, meet for drinks or, have girls' night in or, whatever it is. Movies, I love to read, and I haven't been able to really get into a good book because every time I would pick one up, something would happen and I'll put it down and all that kind of stuff. So make time for those things that are enjoyable for you. Redirect some of that energy and some of that angst into things that bring you pleasure, bring you joy. If you really need to, make sure that you're getting good, credible counseling. There's nothing wrong with that. I say that all the time. We have so many women and men who struggle with all kinds of I won't call them mental health issues, but it definitely is in that realm, but struggle with depression and anxiety and adjustment disorders and personality disorders that are on the low level, on the mild scale, but they could be worked out with just a couple of sessions of therapy or maybe some meds or tweaks to your diet or, hell, get a sun lamp and, get some vitamin D and some sun rays or go to the ocean and just be and stand in the presence of nature and heal yourself so that you can be of benefit to someone else. And, lastly, I just want you all to really know that reinvention is not a bad word. Sometimes you just have to deconstruct in order to reconstruct. You have to tear down everything that you thought was necessary and thought was important and thought was a priority, and reshuffle that deck so that it makes sense for you. But make sure that when you reshuffle that you put yourself at the top of the priority. A lot of times, especially for women, we put ourselves low on the totem pole, and then we wonder why we're so discontent and so unplugged and so, disenchanted and all the other disses, and we can't stand our kids and our spouse. You just over there breathing, huh? And getting all on our nerves because we haven't taken the time to reset and to recharge and to reinvigorate. Reinvent yourself. Whatever it is that you've been thinking about doing in order to give yourself a fresh start or a fresh, do-over, do something. And I know it sounds superficial, but go with me. Do something different with your hair, or try out some new clothing styles. Give yourself a cosmetic boost, because even with that is giving your interior, your insides, a lift as well. Don't listen to the naysayers. I have been wanting to start a business for years, and I haven't done it because capital and expenses and all that kind of stuff. And so I still very politely write down all my ideas. I've done some businesses here and there, but I mean full-fledged, full-on. And this is the season that I believe is given to me to focus on that, because I have creative babies that I need to birth. So, don't think that you've missed your chance, or that this is just your lot and that you're just supposed to be suffering. I don't know who keeps telling us those kind of messages, but we need to reject them and send them back where they came from. It is not God's intention for us to suffer. It is not God's desire for us to lead miserable lives. It is God's desire to use whatever situation and circumstance that we find ourselves in to our benefit, so that we learn the lessons that we are supposed to learn. If you're still going through the same old foolishness, you ain't learned your lesson. So sit down and figure out what it is that God is trying to tell you, so you can move on. And you don't have to come this way anymore. Don't think that this is just your life. You're just going to be miserable and your reward is in heaven somewhere. No, babe. You need to be happy here and then go on and get your reward somewhere else. But you got to figure out why certain things keep happening, because you keep repeating the same lessons because you haven't learned them. So let's be all about the business of learning, shall we? If you've enjoyed this video, please leave your comments below. I appreciate your feedback as always. Don't forget to subscribe, and please share this video if you liked it, and give it a thumbs up. I'll talk to y'all later on. I'm Felisa. Love y'all. Bye.